Welcome everyone back to the Smoker Fire Show. I'm your host, Jack Alexander. Alongside me as always is Owen Colshaw Klein, and to the left of me or the right, wherever you are at, Alex Bean Walters is in the building. I'm a part-time Wolves fan. Owen, you are a full-time Wolves fan. Is there any issues going on with the Wolves right now? Any positions necessarily that are in need of some help?
See, an essential part of a team is a point guard who helps do this thing called run the offense. We don't have one of those. Yes,
Yeah,
we
you
don't
need
actually have one of those,
Yes.
right? It's currently primarily Anthony Edwards, and that's not maximizing his skill set. So, long story short, we need a guy who can give the ball to Anthony Edwards more efficiently.
And Mike Conley is a guy that was, he was your starting point guard. He was doing fine at this back end of his career. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, Mike Conley is not a starting point guard these days. The guy can't handle.
Unk is a great role piece and vibes guy, but he's not a functional point guard anymore.
His handle is off. He just doesn't. He can't play any defense. He's a liability on the defensive end. He's just not a great facilitator anymore. He's just not a great NBA player anymore. Shout out Mike Conley. Great career. Who knows what he's going to do after this season. But at least he is not a starting point guard. And today I have 7 trades in total. We don't have to go through all 7 if you don't want to, but 7 potential trades that the Warriors. Sorry, I like to talk about the Warriors sometimes.
His reflexes kicked in.
Exactly. The Wolves. The Wolves need a point guard, and I have 7 trades that they could potentially make to have said starting point guard. Now, they have people like Naz Reid, they have people like Julius Randle, and people like Rudy Gobert. Those 3 guys have the contracts that you would want to trade if you want to go out and get a real starting point guard here. So we can start with the first one. The first trade that I have for you guys is a trade to the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors receive Naz Reid, Rob Dillingham, and Mike Conley. In exchange, the Wolves get Emmanuel Quickley, Ochai Agbaji, and the rights to a 2028 first-round swap. Who says no to this?
Who's the swap with?
With the Raptors. So the Wolves have the right to swap with the Raptors in 2028.
Okay.
I don't mind it. I think IQ certainly is capable, and I think even if you're not looking for a true point guard, you're just looking for somebody younger than Mike Conley that fits your timeline a little bit better. Because if when you acquired Mike Conley, you acquired Mike Conley with the idea that you were going to win in the next 3 to 5 years, and you're getting closer, but you haven't done it yet, and all the teams are getting better. So you need to go now because you're in danger of losing the arms race in the West.
And Emmanuel Quickley is a guy that can facilitate the offense. He's doing great in Toronto. But also, on the Raptors side, Naz Reid is the exact player that they would want coming off the bench or starting over Jakob Poeltl, depending on what you would want to do. Because they need a space-the-floor, offensive style big man, and they just don't have that. So bringing in Naz Reid would be the perfect fit for them.
I think the only issue is that after Emmanuel Quickley, unless they're going to completely rely on Jamal Shad, they do not have a point guard unless they're going to also start Mike Conley at point guard. That's probably the only reason
give Rob Dillingham a chance. Maybe that's the team that gives them the chance.
I don't think Rob Dillingham is the answer for any team right now.
I wanted it to work out with Rob so bad, but me and Jack talked about this off air. He's small. He's kind of a cone on defense, and I think the problem is when you draft a Kentucky guy like that, not even Reed Shepard and him are 1-to-1s, but when you draft Kentucky guys like that, you're gambling on their offensive upside being exactly what it was in college, and that just isn't sustainable in the NBA. And it's not that Rob can't be that. It's just, 1, he's not going to get the opportunity, and 2, I don't know if it's going to hit like that. Simply.
Yeah, for someone who's the 8th pick of the draft, you'd think that we would see something, but he's not getting minutes
right now.
So you have that type of argument, but there's a reason why he's not getting the minutes. You know what I mean?
He's on a team that needs a point guard. Their point guard they drafted is not getting minutes. So
yeah, the worst part is you moved up to take him too, so you technically almost lost value on that.
You just it might be time just to accept the L, but you can still move. He's still really young. You still have high value on him, so there's a possibility a team could buy in on him, but they're going to be buying low. They won't be buying high.
Yeah, you're buying the dip on that, and I think if you're the Wolves, and it'll be a good salary dump because he's on a rookie deal. So there's that's the sad part about Rob is there's all the upside to trading him, but there's no upside to applying it on the court unless you're one of the other, we'll say 15 to 16 teams that might be looking for him. Because I'd say all 29, but not all 29 aren't going to be in the market for Rob Dillingham,
Yeah,
of
certainly.
course. So I'd say probably half the league, roughly.
We're gonna call this NBA deal or no deal. Would you take this trade? Who says no? The Wolves receive Kobe White, Trey Jones, and Patrick Williams in exchange for Julius Randle, Mike Conley, Bones Highland, and the right to swap the 2028 first-round pick. So the Bulls will get either the Bulls or the Wolves, whichever one is better, first-round pick, and then you get the big man Julius Randle. They're kind of looking for, and they said this, where they want the Pascal Siakam type of player with Josh Giddey, kind of like mimic what they were doing in Indiana. So
That's exactly
kind
what I
of
was
the
going to
guy.
say. Bulls say yes because that gets them their Pascal.
And Wolves say
I mean-
yes because they get 2 point guards out of this, and then Patrick Williams it's a bad contract, but it's just making the salaries work.
Who else
So
is it?
you just got to do that.
And I think the beauty of getting Kobe White and Trey Jones, you can run one of them as your starter, probably Kobe White, I'd imagine, and then run Trey Jones off the bench to lead your second unit. Either way, you have 2 infinitely more functional options.
And you still get to
what you
keep
currently
Rob
have.
Dillingham just in case he does do something, you know?
Yeah, there is the upside to that. Unless the Bulls are like, we want him, we'll take a gamble on him because we're not going to be a championship team for a couple of years.
I think Bones Highland,
We'll
if
say
you
yeah.
give him the right opportunity, because he hasn't had the right opportunity yet. He was in Denver when they were winning championships, and then he went to LA, which he never really got a chance there because they had Russell Westbrook, they had James Harden, and now he's in Minnesota where, I mean, they got a bunch of young guys already, plus Mike Conley, plus Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo. Like, all these guys are getting minutes above him. Maybe he gets a chance in Chicago and finally balls out. I'm still high on the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it could be there too, but unfortunately, it might be with somebody else because he's not. He got drafted to a team that has championship aspirations. A better fit for him would have been a team that has regular playoff aspirations, where it's like, hey, we want to make the play-in and maybe get into a first-round series just for.
You know, that might
That's
not
exactly
be
who
the
the Bulls are.
No, that's
Precisely.
yes. We know the Bulls as a team that's going to be trying to get to the play-in. The Bulls think of themselves as the damn Pacers who were just in the finals. The Bulls are delusional. They might say no solely for the fact that they think that they can win.
It's
They
like the
can, but they
2K.
can win
It's
with
like
Julius Randle.
when. It's like Jack. It's like Kenny's rebuild videos where the opposing computer GM thinks they're a contender. Like every team thinks they're a contender.
But they're like
That's
nine.
why-
They only have
that's
like
why trades
9 wins.
fall through.
The Bulls suck, but they for some reason like they legitimately think that they can. Yes, they want to get their Pascal, but they're also like, we got Josh Giddey and our Tyrese Halliburton. They probably look at Kobe. They definitely look at Kobe White as like an Andrew Nembhard or a Benedict Mathurin. Kobe White's probably immovable. Modest is like their Obi Toppin. Like they literally look at this team and think these guys are the guys. We just need to find them the Pascal. And yes, I think they would look at Julius Randle as their Pascal, but I don't think they're going to trade their key players right now because the front office and the entire team are delusional right now.
Yeah, and that's the hard part is you've got to get the other GM to agree with it, and I think the Bulls would drive that price up based on that delusional mindset that they're going
Plus,
to be.
Kobe White's really good.
Yeah,
Kobe White's really good,
and
but he's
they're
also coming
only
off
gonna
of injury. You don't really know. And then again, Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is
the
another
Bulls-
guy. Patrick Williams is another guy that is making $18 million a season when he doesn't do shit on the court. So that's a
Nope.
salary dump right there. They can get and replace him with a potential quote unquote all-star type of guy, Julius Randle.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I do think they in theory should do this, but the Bulls would say no because they're like, nope, we can't get rid of him. We can't. The Pacers wouldn't trade Andrew Nembhard or Benedict Mathurin, would they? So why should we trade Kobe?
Speaking of
being used to the
Andrew
GM impression
Nembhard,
where it's like Handsome Squidward where he looks in the camera, he's like, no, we can't do that.
well,
they won't
speaking
do
of
No, we can't.
speaking of Andrew Nembhard, we do have another trade. We do have another trade that could potentially have his name in it.
All right, all right, walk us through it.
The Wolves receive Andrew Nemhard, Obi Toppin, and Jay Huff, Rudy Gobert, Rob Dillingham, and 2 first-round pick swaps in 2028 and 2032. So they get potentially the Wolves picks in 2 years, or whichever one's better, and they get that center that they desperately need.
I mean, I like it because I'm an Andrew Nemhard guy. I would take him from the fact that he fits the defensive identity of what the Wolves want to do. The Wolves want to get stops, and he has the offensive upside to be able to run your offense way more functionally. Now, he did a pretty damn good job running their offense in Game 7 of the finals last year after Halliburton went down. Obviously, that's not going to be enough because he's going to get all the attention that Tyrese was getting now because they don't have anybody to zero in on. But I think he's super capable defensively, and then again, his offensive upside is enough that you're willing to take the risk. And again, if it doesn't hit, then you have a better defensive piece than Mike Conley and Rob Dillingham. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
So now, I mean, when you look at the Wolves roster here, I mean, you have Naz Reid starting at the 5. You still have Julius Randle at the 4. Now you have Obi Toppin coming off the bench and Jay Huff. Now you're losing a lot of your defensive identity when it comes to obviously Rudy Gobert. But we're looking at Jay Huff, and he's leading the league in blocks, like total blocks right now. So he's someone that could be kind of a spark plug, come off the bench, and give you that kind of defensive identity that you would be lacking when you don't have Rudy Gobert.
And on top of that, if you make Naz a starter, it would justify giving him all that much money. You're paying him, You're paying him mid-tier to like low end to mid-tier starter kind of money in today's NBA. Like $20 million is like mid-tier or even high
It's
capable
like 25
starter.
mil, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I think
it would justify that contract certainly.
I think if I'm the Pacers, I'd say no. If you swap Rudy with Naz Reid, maybe.
I don't know
Because Rudy Gobert is not the Rudy Gobert will not fit in a Rick Carlisle system. He will not fit with a Tyrese Halliburton. It just won't work. He's not fast enough. He's way too slow. He has no ability to space the floor or give any offense whatsoever, which is exactly what, while Miles Turner was not great in the finals, having that ability to switch off where Miles Turner can keep up with the Tyrese Halliburtons, with the Andrew Nemhards, with TJ McConnell, because they did run a very fast-paced offense, and he can spread the floor for them, which allowed them to open up everything to where Benedict Mathurin could get more shots. Aaron Nesmith was out there getting shots. Rudy Gobert will do none of that for you. He is a cone. If he's coming up with the ball, all right, we just have to watch him down in the middle, and he may or may not do something.
I mean, when you bring in Rudy Gobert, when you bring in Rudy Gobert, he's basically Jay Huff on steroids. I mean, that's exactly what we're seeing with Jay Huff right now. He doesn't space the floor great, but he's a great rebounder. And when you have a team that's so fast-paced like that, they're going to be chucking up shots. And who do you want underneath the basket when everyone's chucking up their shots? You want Rudy Gobert. That's who you want.
So what offense is 4-on-5?
He does have a point. He does have a point though, Bean. If you're a fast-paced team, you need somebody to crash the glass because you're gonna, instead of like the standard
that's not
50 or 60 possession. Like I'm saying, if you play that fast, you're bound to get an extra 5 to 10 possessions, and how many of those are turning into offensive?
Well, can I ask y'all a quick question? Who was their center last year?
Who was the Pacers center last year? I think we all know.
Yeah, who was the Pacers center last year?
Miles Turner, brother.
The guy who averages 5 rebounds a game?
Fair
What's your
argument.
point? Yeah, what's your point?
They made it to the finals. Like, that's not what they're looking for. Like, that is strictly not. That's what Pascal is going to be doing. And that's what he is good at. Like, they don't need a guy who's going to get rebounds. That's not what Rick Carlisle is looking for. That's not what Tyrese Halliburton needs. That's not what any of this team needs. They don't need a guy who is going to get boards because they didn't need it last year and they made it all the way to the finals. If you want to call it a fluke or not, I don't care. But in the sense of this, they need a guy who is going to be able to move fast-paced with their offense. Rudy Gobert will not be able to keep up. This is a team that moves in transition, and half the time Rudy Gobert is still going to be on the other end of the floor.
Well, how about this, Beam?
Yeah.
How about this, Beam?
If it's Naz Reid, I'm in. I'm in as the Pacers.
How about this? A trade with the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets received Dante DiVincenzo, Mike Conley, and Rob Dillingham. And in return, it's not LaMelo Ball. It's Colin Sexton and Tajon Salon.
Y'all don't want LaMelo?
Hell no, I don't want no LaMelo. I don't want no
yeah.
LaMelo. I want
Like
Colin Sexton. That's who I want.
Colin Sexton is like one of the only 3 good things that the Hornets have right now.
Well, but you get 2 vets and 1 guy that potentially might be the guy after LaMelo when he leaves.
I don't have faith in Rob Dillingham like that.
I don't either, but he's still a young guy. He's got a lot to grow.
Why would you guys not take a swing on him? You guys are going to be
a first-round pick,
25-win team again. Yeah, it's a glorified first-round pick.
Because this team has they've reset so many times. Colin Sexton, and obviously I'm a biased Hornets fan here. This team, yes, the Hornets are not good. I'm not going to sit here and pray and say
bad even.
Oh my God. But obviously you've had the LaMelo injuries, you've had the Brandon Miller injuries. They beat the Raptors twice in the last 2 weeks, by the way. The number 2 seed in the East at one point. So I just say what you want, but no, realistically, I don't know. The Hornets have finally started to gather some sort of direction, and this would just be let's hit the reset again for a 4th time in the last 5 years.
Right,
but if we get rid of Tajon, there's a plus there because Tajon sucks.
Yeah, maybe a new system. Maybe they believe in him. Have it come off the bench. Who knows?
I mean, what pick did you guys get Tajon Solana? Was he a
Don't
late
talk
first
about
rounder?
it.
7th.
Oh God! Oh God!
Yes, it was the year after we were like, hey, this guy looks really raw.
Raw he is.
This is literally supposed to be our air quotes. This is not me. This was the Giannis.
Oh my God! I love NBA GMs and scouts because the ceiling will be Giannis and the floor will be Tiago Splitter, and I'm
out of the league in 2 years.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Tiago Splitter's a way better player than Tajon
But
Solana.
you know what I
Yes,
mean? But
you know what I mean? Close.
You know what I mean? But it'll be the ceiling will be this generational player, and then the floor will be.
That's some disrespect right there.
Sorry. I couldn't think of a role player off the top of my head that would make more sense. So that's the first thing came to mind. But
Dragan Bender,
something like that, yeah. It would be, or Dario Saric. It's his minimum is going to be a functional role player, but his ceiling is going to be prime Kyle Korver, where he's averaging 8 made threes a game and single-handedly leading comebacks on a Hawks team that.
Yeah, he's not even Dario Saric. The guy's going to be out of the league in a few years, more than likely.
Tajon Solana did put up a 3.
But Jack, you get what I mean. It's it seems like every guy's ceiling is either at minimum a functional role player or the greatest fucking pick of all time. Yeah.
You never know. All right, I got 3 more for you guys. NBA deal or no deal. Who says no to this trade? The Wolves received Scoot Henderson and Chris Murray in exchange for Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham, and a 2nd-round pick.
Ooh, that's like putting a blindfold on and throwing darts at a dartboard. You don't know shit on if Scoot Henderson's going to hit or not.
Yeah, is he going to hit more than Rob Dillingham though?
At least Rob Dillingham is playing. I mean, I don't know.
True,
is Scoot still out
in the first 3 years?
Is Scoot still out with the hamstring issue, or is he back and just not playing?
He's still out.
Oh my God!
I haven't seen him play in a year.
Yeah, that's
you're not really giving up much though. You're giving up. I mean, Dante's a fine player, but he's not gonna move the needle for you guys.
Yeah, that would be the only reason is to offload Dante, because with Scoot Henderson, you're getting borderline LaMelo, where he's either going to be there for spurts or you're never going to see him again.
He hasn't played since March 27th.
It's been a minute.
Good God! So the last 3 weeks of the 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, oh man, that's really trying to bank on if Scoot Henderson's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
If you're the Timberwolves, that's really banking on it.
You're banking on
Now, if the option was to get Drew Holiday, then you're kind of.
Why would they give up Drew Holiday? There's no reason for them to.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying if the Timberwolves are able to get Drew Holiday, then that's a different situation.
I wouldn't mind that.
I don't think the Trailblazers are getting rid of him though.
But again, I mean, Drew Holiday's making $32 million a season. So who making that type of money would you be willing to give up for someone that expensive? I mean, Drew Holiday's extremely expensive right now.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would. You could do it, but if they could, it would be a. I think
the closest contract we have off memory would be Nas making 25, right?
And then the Blazers aren't even going to want him.
Yeah, which is
because they've got Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, they got plenty of centers. They're not interested in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why you go out and
that
get a
probably
Scoot.
doesn't work there. So I believe the Wolves would say no on the basis of the fact that you're banking on Scoot Henderson's health way too much.
I think the upside is there to
Because at least like
to kind of justify it.
the upside's there, but it's also like you're taking away Dante DiVincenzo, who while might not be the most ideal, is at least giving you something, and you're going to replace him with someone who you don't know. We don't know when Scoot's coming back.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's certainly a risk.
If
It's
does
just,
he
but
have
the
a timeline?
upside is you win the trade easily.
If I remember correctly, he had the hamstring issue early in the year, and then it was like he'll be reevaluated in, I believe it was 2 to 4 weeks, and then I think that just kept becoming 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
it's,
I mean,
it's just
hamstring
right
is
now
something
on a
that you got to
week-by-week
take very
basis.
slowly.
Yeah,
It's on November 22nd. The team determined it would be assessed again in another 2 to 4 weeks. So he might not come back till like late January, early February.
yeah. I wouldn't expect to see him until the new calendar year.
This is a quick one for you guys. A very simple trade here. The Mavericks received Jalen Clark, and the Wolves received Dante Exum. A very minor trade, but I mean,
Screw it, do it. I mean,
the Mavs get someone who's young. They're trying to get into a different identity, trying to be a younger team. Dante Exum is on a championship roster is a great backup point guard. Now he'd be running starting point guard, but it's a very cheap guy here.
That would be the only reason I would do it is because it's cheap. Like I think the Wolves are starting to believe in Jalen Clark more because they're giving him enough minutes to prove that he's worth using.
Garbage time,
So-
sure.
And because like I believe no, I'm pretty sure he's getting rotational minutes because our plus minus. There was a stat that the Wolves have that when he's on the court, we are significantly better.
his plus minus is a 1.8.
Yes, but I guess I don't know if it was net rating or team plus minus, but we are statistically a lot better on the court with him than we're not.
It's because
Now,
we're up
again-
against third strings on other teams too.
Well, Jack. Sample size. Is he really only playing garbage time minutes? I feel like he's been getting.
From what
more
I've
rotational
seen,
minutes.
I haven't seen all of the games that the Wolves play, but I've never really seen Jalen Clark in real minutes. I could be wrong
Okay.
here. I'm not watching every single Wolves game.
Like this is just a breakdown of the last game. He played a quarter of he played half of the first quarter, almost about half, like 30%, so not exactly half, and then about another 30% in the third quarter. And that was a
That's
close
not
game.
garbage
So
time.
he was getting some meaningful minutes against the Suns.
Yeah, because I think he's our Lou Dort. He's our version of Lou Dort where we're gonna throw him out there and we're like, go slow down their best guy as best you can.
He just don't hit
you rack
threes
up-
like Lou Dort.
So maybe you say, yeah,
Well,
maybe you say no
I'm
then.
saying defensively because like you ever notice how Lou Dort draws the most difficult assignment every night?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're asking him to do on a much smaller
It's-
scale because he's not Lou Dort. He's Lou Dort-esque. You kind of get what I mean with that being? Like, we're going to go ask
No,
him.
yeah, I agree. I think
draw a toughest assignment.
it's so hard for a team though, like the Timberwolves who are trying to compete now, to run a dual timeline. The Warriors tried it; it failed. The Thunder are probably the only team to have ever done it, and that is
I don't
just
know if it
because
failed,
they
we
have
won a
the greatest
championship.
scouting. They have the do what?
I don't know if it failed too much. I mean, we won a championship with it. I mean, we had Jonathan Kuminga on
Yeah,
that
but
team. We
you
had
didn't
Moses
like
Muzi on
grow
the
any.
team.
Of the, none of the younger guys. That's because you have Stephen Curry and Draymond.
Right, you also
Green.
had
Let's
Jordan
be
Poole.
real.
We wouldn't
It
have that
wasn't be-
championship without Jordan Poole. I mean, it's a fact.
Okay, well, he's not even there anymore. So
Of course.
yes, but the dual timeline thing is like we're gonna compete while also growing young talent. All your young talent you've been trying to ship off. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Kuminga.
You know what I'm saying?
Kuminga is the guy that we're trying to ship
Kuminga,
off. We're not
Moses
trying to-
Moody's the only one that's probably.
Moses Moody.
And then
we're
you're
not
keeping
getting
the
rid of
wrong
pods.
ones.
We declined. What's his name? Laurie Markkinen to keep pods. So we certainly want
Yeah.
pods too.
Okay. Well, look.
That's hilarious.
No,
It
okay,
is. It's
let's
a bad.
not
I
have
get
that.
it. I get it. I get it.
You
But-
passed up on Lori for AirPods.
No, that was one of my
But the
viral
Thunder-
videos. I was pissed.
The Thunder have like Shea, but they've also brought in AJ Mitchell, who looks amazing. Cason Wallace. They have probably the greatest scouting team in league history. If we're being fair, like they just can't miss. They missed twice with Ujman Zhang and Alexei Pokashevsky. That's probably about it.
I mean, who
Those are the
knows
only
with
misses.
Topic? We don't know about Topic yet. I mean, that
They've
could all
had 30
potentially be
picks in the
missed,
last 5 years, and they've missed like twice.
It's unreal. At this
And
rate,
then they're
Sorber and
hitting on
Topic is going to be
players
just
like
great.
J-Dub. Timberwolves. It's just what I'm getting at is like it's easier said than done to like run the dual timeline. So I don't know if you want to keep drafting these guys and hoping they fit like a Rob or like Jalen Clark in this situation. If you can move them for someone who is going to win now, because Ant's trying to win now. He ain't trying to sit there and keep losing out because the seventh guy on the bench can't hit a game. He can't hit a 3 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I have one more trade for you guys.
Exactly how you'd sum it up.
One more trade for you guys. NBA Deal or No Deal. Who says no to this trade? The Wolves receive Malik Monk and Keon Ellis in exchange for Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2028 first-round pick swap.
Shit, you probably don't even have to do 2 picks.
Kings would be like,
And realistically, the Kings, they would take that just for Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, because they just need a point guard.
They just need to blow it all up. If they can get rid of Keon Ellis, who they don't like, and finally get rid of Malik Monk, they probably take that Rob Dillingham as like, yeah, we came out on top, boys.
And that's two guys for the Wolves that can bring up the ball. I mean, Malik
Dude, that
Monk,
would
I would
actually be-
consider more of a shooting guard, but he can still facilitate the rock and whatnot.
Bro,
Yeah.
Keon Ellis, if I'm any team that's trying to compete, go get Keon Ellis.
He's a dog.
I love
Ellis
Keon
is a
Ellis.
dog. Yeah.
I mean, even if
He's
Keon
so fun.
Ellis, even if it's Malik Monk who's bringing up the ball for you, you bring Keon Ellis off the bench. That's a win. This is a win-win.
Yeah, Ellis would
Like
definitely be
both
off the
sides.
bench.
If I'm the Timberwolves, I say yes 10 times over. And if I'm the Kings, at this point, we're not even playing Keon, and we want Malik's money off the books. So, yeah, we'll do it.
Screw it. Yeah. Well, that's all.
Yeah, that's
We get a first-round pick out of it? Holy shit.
That's my
Well,
favorite. That's my
We
favorite.
would have
trade of the
taken, we
ones-
would have taken a bag of chips from Malik at this point.
Well, it's a swap. The Kings are going to be a lot worse than the Wolves in 2028. Let's be real.
Hey, you know what? We'll roll with it.
Yeah, that's my favorite trade of the ones you pitched so far because that feels like the most balanced.
I
Yeah.
love that, dude. I would love to see Keon on the Timberwolves.
Well, with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of video, go ahead and leave a like and comment. What was your favorite trade throughout all of this? And if I didn't say your team, let me know in the comments below. Give me the trade package, and we can debate that on the next episode. So we'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.